Howdy
He's
ho.
working. How are
I see
you?
you. How are you
He's.
today?
I'm good. Finally got some Wi-Fi, so that's a plus.
Am I coming through a
Um,
little better? I'm on the house Wi-Fi now.
you are. I'm actually right over by the airport, so you might hear some
I can hear it.
planes, but I'm outside, so win-win. So when
Yep.
people comment on the live chat, it will come up and it will look like this. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll start there. So normally we start with around town news and stuff like that. We're gonna do it a little bit different today, and I kind of
Okay.
want you to just start off with what the Curse have been doing in your area, and what gigs you've done, and kind of just what you're looking forward to as an artist.
Um. Well, Chris, what we're doing right now is we're getting ready, starting up next year. We finally got some all right videographers and some people to work with. I got the set finally worked out in order to record the pieces of you, cinematic portion of that video. Ironically, it's the most violent track on the EP, but it's also only one of the only two that don't have F bombs on it. So I'm going to make videos. I'm going to make it for the ones that can mass distribute without having like the parental MA whatever on it. And I'm
Right.
and also earlier in this year we're going to do a radio edit of the other three. 1011 up in Orlando. It's one of the last few decent rock stations in Florida. They liked a track on there called Requiem for a Broken Dream, but I got to do a radio edit and get rid of the F bombs. So once that's done, radio time, that's a good thing. I think that's still relevant. I know everything's online and I know everything's on like multimedia. I still think getting your stuff on the radio stations is relevant as a musician, coming up.
It is actually. It really is.
I
You
believe
should
so.
you should check into. I have a good friend of mine that is on a radio station. So you should give her a big shout out. I haven't heard her on the live just yet until I have permission to, but I'll give you that.
Sorry, I had a little bit of a
Great.
whiteout there. My bad.
That's
Apologies.
all right. Hey, that's
Went Super Saiyan
spiritual.
there or something, I guess. I don't know. They
um,
can't stand my aura. It's too much. Ah! Yeah. But, yeah.
that's all
And it
right.
just gets wackier from here.
We had a great time at our Toys for Tots event yesterday, man. We had
You started telling me
some
about that
great
earlier.
ass band never performed before. Crowview, if you could check them out, he was pretty awesome. It
I
was their
will.
first time performing. We got some video on the
Yeah,
page. Yeah, check it out. It's pretty awesome. We got 10 boxes of toys and
absolutely.
4 bikes, man. It was great. It was a good turnout. This Saturday we have again Leo's live for the single dads. We're gonna rock out with the single dads. We had 5 slots, but we have 2 main dads that we're working with now.
Mm.
They are singing really help. I mean, they're hitting rough times. They're doing it by themselves. And so we're gonna help them out and just kind of be there for them for Christmas, right before Christmas. So
All right.
it should be a good time. If you guys get a chance, you should come out.
As far as this neighborhood's concerned, where we're at right now, I'm pretty much the only one over in this neck of the woods. We're kind of daisy chained, west to east and then south. What I'll usually do, I'll drive over to Vero. My mom's over there. I'll go over there overnight and visit. The next morning, I go out 8 minutes from my mom's house. My drummer, Hernan, aka Hernanator. I'll carpool with him the rest of the way. Yeah, I got one for all of them. There's the bassist, the new guy Matt. By the way, working out superbly. He's actually doing most of the vocals for his band. I think it's called Eternal Punishment.
Yeah.
And once I have and Gio, the primary guitarist, started the whole thing up. He does really great cleans, really great backups. But a lot of the stuff he's doing on the guitar, I don't want him to take his attention away from and mess up trying to do backing vocals. Now Matt comes in. He's playing the bass guitar like it's a guitar, which is what you want in a 4-piece band, a lot more dynamic. And I'm doing it where he's doing shit that's really kind of more of a simple thrum that's not gonna really mess him up too much to drop the backing vocals on. But I'm confident even if I wasn't, he'd be able to jump on them all based on the performance I've seen with his other project. And my primary there, other one is the guitarist. He's actually the only straight up guitarist. I call him the primary guitarist anyway. That's George Baratika, Georgiaholic. He's a friend of yours on that Facebook. Also, I believe comes up as a mutual.
I think so.
And it's coming along. It's coming along really nice, actually.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, well, I hope you guys continue. Hopefully, we can get you guys out for
definitely.
So we're so I'm gonna just go ahead and say it because I'm doing it. So it's the Easter Bunny beatdown.
So I think you'd mentioned something about the artwork. I'm looking forward to seeing that fleshed out. I really want to see that.
Yeah. I'm super excited on it, dude. It's gonna be amazing. Again at Leo's, and
that sounds badass.
I kind of just want to go back a little bit though. Like there were so many bands yesterday that came out: Power Surge, Spank and Sadie, Irate. And, we also had the Crowview, of course, and then Black Satin. And Lily Bond was out there to support too as well. Our schedule got a little kind of mixed up, but we still kind of rocked it out. And it was really great, There were some really great fill-ins, and Leo was out there partying with everybody. He always tries to make an appearance and show his face, which is pretty cool.
That's actually something that I wanted to bring up with you. You kind of triggered on it real quick before I forget, if you don't mind. I've been noticing a lot of the more like deathcore and like slam, real heavy end study every what I do. Festivals and events happening up towards in the middle of the state, kind of in our area. There's one guy that's been putting a lot of them together. Goes by Brian the Butcher on Facebook. You might want to look him up too if you really want to get kind of more in the metal aspect of music. You know me, I'm all about make Florida metal again. This is where death metal, as it's actually known and recognized, was born here in a little west of us, but about less than an hour west of us was the warehouse that Morbid Angel was getting their shit from. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. The godfathers of this shit, partially or wholly, come up from this area, the Gunshine State. And I want to see it come back and do its heyday. I ain't just talking on one coast or another. I'm gonna coin a cartoon character from something that I used to like watching a lot, still do sometimes. This damn cartoon called Metalocalypse. If you ain't seen it, check it out. We're gonna make Florida metal. We're gonna make the world metal. Blacker than the blackest night. Times infinity.
That was our last year's. That's what we were supposed to do last year. We need to definitely schedule it.
I'm still doing it.
We should definitely schedule it and rock it out. That's for sure. That would be awesome.
I'm definitely doing it. And I got if me, you, and Brian can get together, he sees what you're able to promote as far as venues, and he's able to put together the fucking acts he's able to promote. And then that way, that freaking guy. I think I really like what he's doing. He actually said that I was getting too clean for the stuff he's promoting, man. Because I was just all, Chelsea Grin, Whitechapel sounding all the way through, kind of sounding stuff, right? Last couple of years, I got into the cleans. Everybody's been freaking, giving me pats on the back about it. I go try to do some other stuff. Nah, man, you're getting too clean. But I think it's worth it, though, man. I think well-rounded is the way to go, because then you can do any damn thing.
Well-rounded is the way to go. Everybody has their own personal taste, and everybody does their own personal thing. And I think that's what makes people in general so beautiful. I mean, me personally, I'm more of like this moment kind of metal. That's my soothing. You get a little bit heavier than that, I'm a little uncomfortable. I mean, no, not
what really. Kind of metal?
I mean, like in this moment, but yet to the point, and then
Okay,
there's like some,
okay, yeah, yeah,
there's like aggression screams, like in pauses in between, that's more my taste. I mean,
yeah.
but everybody has their own thing. And I think it's really awesome to see everybody get lost in their own type of music. You know
Heck
what I mean?
yeah. Just getting in that vibe, getting in that groove. Ain't nothing like it.
I mean,
In fact,
it's beautiful within itself. You get to see somebody's energy
I think that's when
each
somebody
time they
really
get on
shows what
their
they're
heart.
about.
Right, that's right. You can really tell the people that really want to be up there and really crave it. You know what I mean?
It's a
So
need. It's a physical need. When you're about it like that, it's like any other addiction. It's like any other fix. You need it in
it
order
is,
to make everything else work.
and that's what's so awesome, because if you haven't, we've got like this interview process, right? And we have, the whole
Hmm.
goal is just to celebrate the person, bringing them out and letting them, know what we have. A lady, her name is Danielle Kimbrell. She's Will Kimbrell's wife. He plays for
Okay.
the Captain Band.
Hmm.
And anyway, she comes out, and basically she's I always have a problem with this word, a permaculturalist. Which
A
is
farmer culturalist,
a permaculturalist.
a permaculturalist. That is
Yes. So
definitely an
she,
interesting word.
gardener, right? But she is an awesome. I call her my spiritualist because she's just an amazing person, and she's very good with advice and very good with, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So we put her in charge of the Body, Mind, and Soul project. So then this way kind of gives, it's like a packet that gives our artists a way to, understand ways that they can help their self heal. You know what I mean? Because getting on stage does, I mean, it does relieve some type of an aggression or an emotion for most people.
There's
And,
more to it than that.
when you get off stage, you crave to have that stage time. So, that's what I love so dearly about our, yeah.
With the right crowd and the right type of people performing, it's just it makes this circuit of energy. And when you really see the band leaving it all on stage, when you really see the crowd going totally freaking ham, there's this, can't necessarily see it, but it's there. It's this. It's everything blasting out from the stage into the crowd, and the crowd just fucking throwing it right back. It's intense, and it really is a rush. Ain't nothing like it. Nothing else in the world.
I'm sorry. I'm outside, and there's some loud customers.
I'm sure.
Shh. Oh my gosh. So
Quiet on the
I'm over
set.
here. Yeah, quiet on the set. Calm down. Yeah, so I came out to the local restaurant down the road from my house so I could get the Wi-Fi. Yeah, they're outside sitting here rocking me on. Anyway, it's been a
You know
really
what? You got
morning.
it done though.
Yes, we did. We got it
What you
done.
did,
It wasn't a
adapt and
complete
overcome.
failure. Yes,
You
that
pulled an
is.
adapt and overcome, and you know what? That's why you're freaking awesome.
It took a minute, and this morning was a
If
little
I was
bit
wearing a
rough.
hat, I'd take it off to you.
Da-da-da-da. I
Mm.
don't know. I don't know. I mean, this morning it was kind of rough, so it kind of put me in a little bit of like, that damper mood because things just didn't align the way they were
Yeah, but look
supposed
at you now.
to. Yes, I agree. Yes, we still pushed forward. It still came out okay, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And you
And
discovered that you're actually able to make it work in this type of
hopefully,
format. You know.
Spectrum Wednesday morning. So let's hope that we have some Spectrum people watching, and they'll give us some good vibes.
Hey Spectrum, what's up, y'all? You know you kind of crapped on our cookies this morning, man. You need to look out.
It's
I'm just
okay.
saying, if you're watching Spectrum people, I mean, this girl over here, you need to look out for. because that shit that was messed up this morning.
I mean, we might have to promote them or something to give
Mm.
them a little bit of a.
Give him a bump.
Okay, so this Saturday, I don't, I just want to stress this. This Saturday, we'll be out at the Single Dads at Leo's Live on the non-smoking side. It is $10 at the door. I just want to let that be known because we are trying to revenue as much for the dads as possible. We have 4 bands, and we want to
That's
be
awesome.
able to, at least tip the bands for coming out and whatnot. Upcut's supposed to be out there. We have the Rick Graham Band. We also have Ascending Radius with Miss Jennifer, and we also have Structured Sound too as well. So everybody.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, Structured Sound. They're a good group of guys, man. I mean, and they just they've got a really good set of heart, and they love music, and I can't wait to hear them play. They got a new lead, so hopefully we, they rock the house too. Play except for on some music videos and stuff or some sounds on Facebook. So I'm super excited for that. And Ascending Radius with Miss Jennifer. She's an amazing person, and she's helped out with the one of the single dads quite a bit. So we are very grateful to have her too as well. And then also the Rick Graham Band, Rick Graham person and artist, and he pulled a whole band together for me, and he's great. He's a good guy. So yeah, and then the 26th we have the interview with the Silverback Rock and Roll Band, and we will be. They are like more like 30s, not 30s, like 40s, 50s, 60s, some 70s. You know what I mean? They have like a saxophonist and.
Cool.
So yeah, it should have a Christmas dinner. So it's going to be the day after Christmas, and we're going to do the interview, and then they're going to do a live performance at around 7:30. The live performances. The interview starts at 6. So anybody that wants to come out for that, you can too as well. There is a door fee. I believe it's $5, and that is just to give the artist for the next interview a chance to have a party too as well.
Of course.
Yeah. It should be a great time. But it's out at Leo's Live. So I don't know if you've ever been out there, but it's over there in Lakeland. So that should be pretty fun.
Send me the link to both of them.
Oh, yeah, I definitely will. I miss Jennifer. Hey,
Miss Jennifer.
So, yeah. So before we go, I want you to do me a favor. Do you guys have any things like coming up any?
We don't have any shows yet planned. We don't have any shows yet planned for 2023. However, everybody should keep their eyes out for the release of a couple of videos. One is going to be for a song we have called Ex Oblivo. It means from oblivion. And that's going to be more kind of like that avant-garde / a bunch of live stuff / what are those GoPro cams, the mosh pit type of videos. And the other one's going to be more cinematic, the other one's going to be more cinematic. That's going to be for Nightmare and a Damaged Brain. Sorry, they won't call it that anymore. We call it Pieces of You. That was its old name, Nightmare and a Damaged Brain. But that one is going to be, we're going to make a mock-up of kind of a decrepit, psych ward type of situation. And also it's murder and mayhem as well as, live footage and stuff like that. And hopefully between spring and summer, right around that point, one or both of them ought to be, releasing on all the major formats to, look at videos and stuff on. So everybody keep your eyes open for that. Also, if you haven't gone on Pandora, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, or any of the other formats that are similar to that. And if you haven't gone on there and listened to or downloaded or purchased the EP or Curse of Three called Foundation, at the very least, get on there, give it a listen, and give it some damn likes, because I think that we really put something good together there. So definitely, I mean, if you have a taste for like more right down the middle between progressive and aggressive metal, it'll be right up your alley. Check that out.
Right.
And right now, it's all about we're back in the production stage right now. We've been posting some of the newer stuff out of the studio. A couple of the new tracks we just debuted at the last show. It was on the 19th of November. That was at Propaganda. Solid place to check out a show if you're ever over on the East Coast, by the way, in the Lake Worth area.
Right.
And
where's that at?
That's in Lake Worth in the Clematis area, West Palm Beach, I believe.
Right. They
Oh yeah, also
metal down in that area, I've noticed.
We do. We actually have a pretty good tight-knit community down there. It's not as dog-eat-dog as it was back when I was starting out in the late 90s. And it's honestly a really damn pleasant community. Every metal show you go out to, you don't really have any fights going on. Nobody's getting disrespected. Asses aren't really getting grabbed. We're all mostly family people now and shit. We got older. So, but even the next gen, even those ones coming in are people that were influenced by us going out, cracking heads in the mosh pit or getting up on stage and doing all sorts of crazy ass epic self-destructive stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, despite that imagery, everybody is just so damn pleasant. It's nice. It's a breath of fresh air.
I like that. That's cool.
I'm sure.
And mashed together like that.
Yeah. And we got everything from power metal to the stuff I'm doing to just like grindcore and slam and all that stuff. Yeah, we got like all across the spectrum. If it's metal, we got it. That's why I'm so freaking die hard about it. If you know anybody that's good with management, weak nudge. That's why I'm so die hard about wanting to set up a legit freaking Make Florida Metal Again tour. Get the best of that part of the state, my old hometowns, bands put together. Something like, freaking 7 or 8 or a dozen freaking bands that can all put together. Like, I'm thinking over the course of, 3 weekends at the best time of year to be touring around sometime during tour season. You know what I mean? And, one weekend, just kick the ever-loving F out of the Tri-County and up and along Vero Beach and stuff like that. 3 or 4 good venues over the course of a 3-day weekend. The next weekend, hit the West Coast, Fort Myers, Tampa. The next weekend, get on up in Orlando, between there and Melbourne, up into there. Probably 4 weekends, make a month out of it. 4th weekend, get all the way up into the Panhandle's ass and exploit the decent scene coming on up there. I'll filter back down, through Gainesville. It's got some good stuff going too. At College Town, got some good clubs. And I want to make a month into a Make Florida Metal Again tour. You know what I mean? Have it where, there's bands out that way that we link up with, bands, up that way, because there are some decent freaking scenes. It ain't nothing like what it was, but if it coalesces, if it comes together, and if it just, I mean, these next couple of years coming up, I could give a damn about a red wave or a blue wave. I want a wave of metal going, washing from top to bottom in a blood red, black drapery down the state, straight on down. I want to make the entire freaking state metal. And I think it's doable. I really think it's doable. I think it's doable to do that and to use that as a platform for those of us that are really pushing forward with it to make careers out of it and to really make a life out of it. And I really see this music, the way that it's developing, is gaining the legitimacy and gaining the recognition that, in my opinion, it's always deserved, and it's just been being overlooked.
Right. And that's what our goal is to get the ones that need the chance to be seen and recorded to push them forward. I mean, we do get bands that are already established and very well recorded, and they are just amazing people, and they come out and devote their time, and it's a great cause, so you guys should get in on that. I would love to have you out for the Easter Bunny Beatdown. I mean, maybe you guys could put that in your schedule of a band's type thing. So there is going to be a buy-in for each band that wants to participate. Yeah, but it's going to be awesome, and we're trying to get Chasing Supernova down here. So if we're still working on logistics, I can't really even mention dates, times, or
I
anything.
still haven't heard Supernova yet.
I mean,
I
you
haven't
really
heard them
should
yet.
check their page out. They're really great. And just awesome people for music. And
What kind of music do they do?
literally, I think she had sponsored an ad or something, and I was scrolling through, and I heard it, and I'm like, that's awesome. And I was like, I want to do an interview with them. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to get, that to be possible. And once that is possible and in stone, then we can speak more on it. But right now it's still up in the air. But it is something that I am greatly looking forward to. So if you do have, a music heart, and you want to help them get down here, please, message them for their Cash App tag. They're full time employees too as well. So they do music and have full time jobs. So
Most of us do.
and they are more towards the metal side too, and we would love to bring them down here to join our Florida mash of awesomeness, because there's
Drop me a link. I'll check them out and promote them.
bands that I've actually come in contact with that are in metal. I mean, there's or heavier rock, you know what I mean, and I want to support them as much as I support my other. I mean, I love all kinds of music, so any
I'd love
kind
to
of
check them out.
is great. I mean, the music is in the beat and in the lyrics, and how someone gets lost in it, and it's just it speaks volumes. Will you stop doing that eyebrow thing? What are you doing? It's really weird.
I got a little bit of a twitch on the left. I apologize.
You're like rolling your eyebrows.
It's because the vocal warm ups that I do. I'm sorry. The vocal warm ups I do make my whole face move, and I did the vocal warm ups before I came on here. Sometimes I get little residual. It feels weird, so I move it, and then it stops feeling weird. You know what I mean?
So what I know, I'm going to regret this. What are your vocal warm ups?
I usually use. Is it okay for me to mention other sources that I've used for what I'm currently doing on here? Because I usually use the Zen of Screaming. It was developed by a vocal coach named Melissa Cross. She's all over on the other side of the continent on the West Coast. But I started using her stuff way on back in my early 20s, and it was bloody revolutionary. I'm getting into vocal coaching myself lately. Excuse me. Pardon me. And a lot of what I picked up from there, I've developed a little bit further, and I, kind of moved forward. I could have you sounding like, Chelsea Grand's or Lorna Shore's vocalist within a couple of months. Don't color outside of the freaking, don't color outside of the lines with that, or you'll F yourself up and not be able to do this kind of, nice, pretty talking stuff anymore. But so that's another thing I'm working on, vocal coaching. But I got most of mine from the Zen of Screaming. I was classically trained early on because I was in freaking choir when I was a kid. Not Catholic choir. I never had it like that. And I'll get that twisted. But I was. That's where it initially came from, and I just kept on, developing it from that point on. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you had to do a vocal warm up, how would it go?
Um, well, I personally use the Zen of Screaming a lot for it, and it starts out zzz, you do your Z's, and you do those up the
Right.
scale, ba da 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 da, ba da 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 da, ba da 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 da, like that, and then after that you do the ba da 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 da, still with the Z's, and then you do some other silly sounding thing that I'm not gonna reproduce here at the time just because I'd be able to keep too much a straight face. Then you go into your E's. E. It's all designed to, vibrate the specific points on your vocal cords and it gets your jaw and mouth and all that. I know it sounds pornographic, but it's not. Oral configuration is a big, important part of putting vocals out. So the warm ups definitely focus a lot on the whole oral configuration. It's not gross, but it's not. And mind out of the gutter, young lady. And so those are focused on a lot. And then we do stuff with G's, good, because of the specific part of the back of the throat here you want to loosen up the muscles on. And you want to be able to get to the point, in my opinion, if you're going to, where you can pretty much run the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be able to,
Right.
if you're going to do clean vocals in metal, I mean, I've heard it sometimes where it's more like, well, you got like, it sounds like kind of, the bands where it sounds like, Radiohead and Morbid Angel made it, and then you got this vocal range where the heavies are pretty good, but the cleans are kind of, I mean, I've always figured if you're going to do cleans and metals and metal music, they ought to be just as powerful as the heavy stuff. So, I think it's best to incorporate stuff like the Zen of Screaming, get your classic running through the scales, classic, vocal warm-ups. There's like hundreds of them you can do. And just time. Like throat, it's about your throat, it's about the muscles in here, it's about knowing where to push and project from. You really learn to play your body like an instrument.
Right.
The microphone is just what projects your instrument, right? Your body is the instrument.
Right.
So any kind of warm up, you want it to work every part of you. I mean, I don't know if you see like a lot of people gesticulating like that when they're doing those kind of vocals. That's not just people not knowing what to do with their hands and shit, right? I mean, that is part of when you're just a straight up vocalist, especially if you're playing and singing before. But that's a whole nother story. But to get the maximum output from your breath, what you want to do is manipulate your floater ribs as much as you can, right? So like, in order to really belt something out, like the way I hold the note at the end of Ex Oblivo, where I'm all like, from oblivion! You see how the arms go down on the sides like that? You're pushing all that last little bit of wind out of your freaking lungs via the floater ribs. So little things like that, and you want to be able to develop that type of spectrum of vocals where you can just bounce back and forth from all around me are familiar faces. You can bounce back from that to you want to be able to bounce back and forth. You know what I mean? If you just lean too much into one thing, too much into the other thing, you're limiting yourself. I respect death metal. I respect straight up decent rock music or things that just stay in their lane and all that. It's good to listen. It's songs by it I like. But if you're going to be a vocalist, man, do everything you can with it.
Yeah.
Big squeals, do I really incorporate them a lot? No, because I kind of think they sound silly, but I mean, whatever. If there's a spot where it sounds good, I'll use it.
What you mean? Well, I do want to
So
thank you
anything
very
that-
much for coming on with me
Of course.
and, doing this whole thing, even though we're just a few hours late.
Love better late than never, am I right?
Yes, thank you again, guys, for dealing with the lateness. Miss Cassie, you're on time as always. Thank you, love. Um, and yeah, I just want to say thank you and for on that interview process too, man. That would be great. I would love to have you guys out at Leo's and get to know you and your bandmates.
No, hon, I can tell you from here on out. I mean, I'm a little, I can't speak for my mates. Maybe I can get my drummer to come up, zip across the barrel. I can put him up in the RV for the weekend. From where my drummer's at in Barrow, the next one's down in just up in Boca. That's the guitarist, and then further on down into Broward County, we got the bassist. So like I said, we're pretty much daisy chained across the state.
Well, I do work with a travel agent too as well. So if stay is important, just let me know and we can definitely try to get that taken care of.
Absolutely.
We do have to wrap these up. I do want to thank Around Winter Haven Neighbors for sponsoring the morning chat, along with Gnome Productions and Osment Entertainment.
Thank you.
And thank you to Everett who recorded today's show. And I love your face, dude. You're awesome. And I appreciate you.
Too,
and
boo.
I'll give you a call here in just a little bit, okay?
All right. Be looking out for the new merchandise, CO3, next bunch of shows. Got all sorts of good stuff, new artists and all that stuff. All right. Okay, now I'm done.
Bye, love.
Take it easy, love bug.